Yebo, yep, yes, yes. Yeah, ah.
Welcome to this special broadcast of the State of the Region address. Today we are finding ourselves in Kunene region. It's a broad and vast region all the way from the borders of Angola, stretching all the way to the borders of Erongo region, from Omusati region all the way to the Atlantic Ocean. It's quite big, but today in the capital city of Kunene region, which is Opuo, it's rather chilly, rather more than you would ever anticipate. I'm your host, Leslie Shwether, for today's State of the Region address. And of course, I won't be alone. And to tackle this one, I'm joined by Kaheve Kabari. Good morning.
Good morning, Leslie.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. I just spoke about the weather. Have you seen this before, or is this a first of its kind?
This is quite strange. We are not used to this weather at all. Not in Opuo, not in Kunene.
Not in Kunene.
No, yeah.
Well, it seems like global warming and climate change is a thing of, it's a reality on the ground, because all of a sudden people are feeling temperatures that are plummeting down, and it has not been experienced ever. And I'm sure that this has got to do with the global warming and climate change that we have seen. But obviously, if you've never been to Kunene region, like I've said, it's vast. You've got Damaraland, you've got Kamanyap area, Korihas, and all these towns are within Kunene region. Let's quickly have a look as to what you can expect if you're in this region. Well, heartwarming visuals there with Bullet Yakaoko, obviously just giving us that music there in the background. But today we're talking about the state of the regional address, and Mr. Kavari, I just wanted to quickly put you on the spot and start by saying that you're a resident, you've lived here all your entire life. What are you anticipating from the governor? What are the pertinent issues that you think that he should be addressing?
Yeah, one would expect the governor to tackle the drought issue, the high youth and unemployment in the region, the high poverty rate, the human-wildlife conflict, which is so rampant in the region, as well as the road infrastructure. Yeah, he might also touch on the performance of the local authorities, the 4 local authorities within the region. It will be interesting to hear from him on that.
Mm-hmm. So those are the things that you want to be able to touch on?
Mainly.
Good. And I think that you've put them in such a way. Let's start off with drought. It has been adverse over the past 6-7 years now. What has been done in the previous years that has not worked that you are hoping that will be implemented this time around?
With drought, you cannot really expect much from anyone, because that's something that is out of our hands. And also the problem is the economic state of the country, the limited funds in the government coffers. The government is doing what it can with the resources it has. So what one would really need to be done differently is perhaps to prepare the farmers, the communities, to be drought resistant, to start farming differently, to start doing other economic issues that would make them cope or survive the drought by themselves, not only depending on the drought relief from the government.
So basically what you're saying is that farmers have to start farming smartly, and they also have to diversify their farming activities.
Exactly, and to do that, they will need some assistance in terms of training, so that they can, that's a paradigm shift that would come across, and for a paradigm shift, definitely some training would be needed, so that they can change their perspectives on farming. As they have been farming in that way since birth.
You've also spoken about unemployment. It is rife, it's in the country, but do you see a lot of job opportunities being created in the region and the youth being left out? Or in your view, what could the governor possibly do to be able to address that?
Yeah, when you look at the setup of Kunene, the economic activities within Kunene region will definitely not accommodate all the youth or all the people in terms of employment. But people need education. People need appropriate education, not just education. People need skills so that they can even be employed elsewhere in the country, not necessarily in Kunene only. And also they need some entrepreneurial skills, so that they can not only depend on employment, so that they can create employment for themselves and equally employ others who might need employment. So They also education as well as entrepreneurial skills is needed for them to thrive.
Obviously, when one is looking at the poverty indexes and researches that have been done, along with Kavango West, Kunene is also just up there high. You said that the governor, you would like him to be able to touch on this, but there's always been this sense about that education have to be linked to this. So that if people are better educated, they will be able to be better equipped to be able to get themselves or their descendants or their relatives out of poverty. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. Because why I would agree, from a layman's perspective, when you look at poverty, how can someone has a number of cattle and still be classified as poor? Mm-hmm. Poverty that we are talking about here is multidimensional poverty that is not linked to the income or to what the person has, but also goes as far as the access to health facilities, access to information, the level of education, possibly how to utilize that one has to own benefit. Person might have a lot of things, but doesn't know how to use it to his or her own benefit and the family. That person is classified as poor. So that is why education is necessary here. And in terms of this, I also propose for civic education, because so that people will know their rights as well as their responsibilities, not necessarily only to wait from the government, but to start making efforts to take themselves out of this multidimensional poverty.
Okay. We are talking about poverty and the state of the regional address. We're still preempting as to what the governor will be touching on. Those are the views of Mr. Kavari. But what are the views on the men on the street?
Ko anumbe na kolombero onde yo yo mneguri se ya bi poka ere yo mombe ba kolombero edumru ha ba kolombero ka tu jo obyungura bi yo bi wo bi ka tu binga mangandi no ndi no kuteka ba da ya na kolombero
mekurisiro pondondo horomende ikonjith mara mo mburanda nonda amihamo na mo mekurisiro yaro engeje muno horomende me ikonjitha ngahino acha yungura okunguro donjira cha unguro donjira ade ngrevelwa aderi yo domba ba auto de no kienda potuvede kanito o do investor no chima de investor kana de apa na upeheno donjira ya odombero odengi lo horomende mai foku ya muno o VTC injiri mo iriko south iriko kori hasa muno njima ifoko patruka inuyi ja patruka paka patruka
chere rwandwa nduli kongoto gadidi o bande bengi jiru hamuna mahongero ngo score nambana njoro mendo yima ibiti sambi yungurambi ibrando dongere ititwa rufa no lo mehe na indo ngombe do kombanda pondo nda enene
ano muna uvari utatu muna ko rupando ro uveruke hospital yetu na aitupouze ukatiti mara ni munu kuchochenje sakatiti opiri
epata ule weuva akotometo ngai wethe po ngatupa homeangu maithu ko kunene liva aitomea ngopo
ogino gitenga jima tuhungire mohoromende gizo kutya kura nukizo kutane horonjenda ourumbu
o mahebero ngutu hena otu wethe mutu tomarandithiro turandithira po twethe twanyita kitwa kwanika mo mahongero muno muyeri na wanuka eri na wamena wiyavi odona mkola kademo o university kaimo atu bango unjiri wesika mupu wethe tukaga warajwe tweri mogo hira ko yumi emarambye katu yenene
ngai no na erondere pona mo mimo ngai no me guru thro ga kwa minu ku hana tala kuno jiwan
chino chinene horomende chimaya wato po chimaya njo china priority ngaitare ka numba bakwatera beri morukondo chiaga no VTC o dengi technical school dudai koruparo rokutungo binako make rokukuna chimuno agriculture horomende na omunda we maino kiri ungurio china koma no make we
muntu myango horomende iri bure we bitise yungura jiba ibitise ita ko bandu edemo bure so ngodo mudu hahongerwe ko kujanja mabira henju nayo yene no kukwatera morupaka nindo ondo ndando njo kuja tuhe mona imbia tuhupenu
no horomende kutako ungeje fa tumbo utiti na indo nene to chinene ndo nditi na chiva erurura watu he development no hama yene no kuchenja
mundambo otucha ko mundambo ikoli nongu kunomme kuno kutupuko mya chinene no masa no myange tupuka no masa konango uli kwe pondo pa mundu wa ko chikunino ko chikulino kenado ko myango umulola ngunda mo pupo mya mai kaonja
ya mai kutia ma njara ai mbadi kaino kutia munjara njo wikulio ino jaipo to yuboka ukulio urumbu ngaitare kula kuina munyanga kwete ya mai kutia ma njara ai mbadi kaino kutia munjara njo wikulio ino jaipo to yuboka ukulio urumbu ngaitare kula kuina munyanga kwete akujalikana matu ningire kuja mutunguro njira wakontopa mirora.
And there you have it from the men on the street, what they're saying and the challenges they face and some of the highlights that they've mentioned there. If you've just joined us, today is the State of the Region address for the Kunene region. Just to maybe just quickly highlight on that, drought obviously has been mentioned there, and one of the individual there also saying that it's not just about the drought, that food relief should be given as fodder for the animals, because the people are also hungry. They also need to be taken care of. Their requirements for work in this region, because one of the individuals are saying that they never went to school and they've got very little education, but the requirements is so high that they cannot be able to attain this type of work. And also vocational training center and other higher educational institutions should be diversified or decentralized to places like Kunene region, so that the learners from this region can study here, because one mother there is saying that, for example, their child are up in Windhoek or other regions and they have to be able to pay for rent like that. Are you in agreement with what the people are saying?
Yes, I totally agree, because to pay rent is very challenging for pensioners, unemployed. As we said, that the poverty rate is high in the region, the unemployment, because brothers could have helped a brother or sister or so, so the unemployment rate is high. So if an institution of higher learning can be opened locally, it will serve a purpose. It will be a blessing for the community. And I know of the Korichas VTC, Kunene VTC. It's actually Kunene VTC under construction in Korichas at the moment. So that is a leaf of relief for the region. The residents of the region. But despite for that, institutions of higher learning are like in places of Ongwendiva or Shakati, which is not really that far from Opuo. And, because numbers are also at play. An institution cannot just come, it will be justified by the number of the demand. The demand will bring down the institution. Yeah. So, okay. But that is for those in charge, but it's necessary.
Road infrastructure is another one that has also been mentioned. For years now, we've had over the news from time and time again that, especially during the rainy season, a car has been washed away, someone has been taken away, but proper bridges are not yet built, and these things are still happening. Is the road infrastructure still in a bad state in the Kunene region, in your view?
Exactly. Yeah, it is in a bad state. And Kunene is a very vast region with rough terrains. As you talked about rivers, every time it rains, roads are washed. Despite for causing accidents, after the rain, they are in a bad taste. And definitely they need attention. We heard of the tarring of the Opuo-Epupa Road, which we thought would start soon. Another time there was also talks about the tarring of the Sesfontein Road. And yeah, we are still waiting, but it would be really, really necessary. Most of the roads in the region are not so good.
Okay. All right. Those are the comments that we could just touch on before the governor himself speak. But we're almost ready now to cross over because the chairperson of the Kunene Regional Council, Hendrik Gaubaib, is on the podium, but we will cross over momentarily. So let's go over to the proceedings in that room and hear as to what the governor will say.
Regional Governor of Kunene Region, Honorable Maria Shea, Kunene Regional Councillors, present here, all 7 constituencies represented by the regional councillors, traditional leaders in Kunene, mayors of various towns in Kunene Region, local authority councillors, Chief Regional Officer, Mr. Kamsep, Regional Police Commander, Mr. Derura, government officials, business community, media, men and women, good morning. It's a privilege for me to welcome you all to the State of the Regional Address by the Regional Governor of Kunene Region. The State of the Region Address is enshrined in Article 110, Sub-Article 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia, which mandated the governor of a particular region to address the residents of particular region. In this case, the residents of Kunene by the Honorable Governor Maria Shea. Furthermore, their residents, the exercise is meant to enhance participatory democracy, to keep the Kunene region residents informed about the developments in the region. Herewith, let me once again welcome all the stakeholders to the informative session of regional address by the governor. Honorable Governor, the residents of the Kunene region is ready to listen to you. We honor you to deliver the State of the Region address. I thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Councillors, Worship Mayors, Traditional Leaders, Chief Regional Officer and Chief Executive Officer of the local authorities, our heads of departments of the different ministries, members of the media, and members of the public, it is a distinct honor to stand before you today as Governor and representative of the head of state in the Kunene region to address this August House in compliance with Article 110B, Sub-Article 5 and 6 of the Namibian Constitution. Allow me at this juncture to convey to His Excellency Dr. Hage Gottfried Keingop well wishes and a speedy recovery on behalf of the people of Kunene region. The President is a great tree of wisdom, firmly rooted in the great plains of Namibia, a tree that offers shelter, wisdom to many to take refuge under the mighty branches. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, we are gradually seeing the leaf of new fruits on the horizon. We have, with difficulties yet optimistically, navigated the turbulent valleys of the past few years. The unsympathetic drought and the COVID-19 virus has intensified the triple threats of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. But it is also in these times of great pain that in broken soil we plant new seeds, the power to revive our world. Hence, the President has declared this year the year of revival. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, there is an old Namibian saying, one finger can never catch a tick. It is imperative that we come together and form collaborative relationships. Each person plays a vital role in the creation of the society we need. Communityship is key in transformative action. To tackle the challenges we have, we need a cohesive society built on the principles of unity. It is impossible for one tribe, one individual, one town, or one political segment of society to carry the task of social economic transformation alone. Just like the onus of growth and development is on each and every one of us, the benefits of economic growth must prosper everyone. Tribalism is a threat to achieving inclusive growth and shared prosperity. Our region is again going into this disruptive element of tribalism, and as leaders, we must lead by example in building an inclusive and just region, especially in public institutions. I hereby call on traditional leaders, political leaders, community leaders, and religious leaders to promote and uphold unity in all their endeavors and activities. Our diversity makes us strong and unique. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, in May 2019, His Excellency Dr. Hage Gottfried Keingop declared a state of emergency over drought. Drought is a direct consequence of climate change that has robbed our people of livelihoods. Since 2019, a total of 35,002 affected households in rural areas have been registered in the region. Government provides food consignment for both human and livestock consumption to affected households. For human consumption, we provide 12 kilogram maize meal bag, a bottle of cooking oil, tin fish, and soya beans per household. The government extended the drought relief program for the current financial year to continue with drought relief in the region. Food received per constituency for the period under review, a pupa. Maize meal bags, 43,052. Cooking oil, 43,052. Tin fish, 86,102. Soya beans, 43,052. Opuo Eben. Maize meal, 27,440. Cooking oil, 27,440. Tin fish, 54,880. Soya means 27,440. Opuo rural, 24,316. Cooking oil, 24,316. Tin fish, 48,632. Soya means 24,316. Korijas, maize meal, bags, 8,368. Cooking oil, 8,368. Tin fish, 16,736. Soya means 8,368. Kamanyap, 8,432. Cooking oil, 8,432. Tin fish, 16,864. And soya means 8,432. Sesfontein, 14,800. Maize meal. Cooking oil, 14,800. Tin fish, 29,600. Soya means 14,000. Ocho, maize meal bags, 13,600. Cooking oil, 13,600. Tin fish, 27,200. And soya means 13,600. Our developmental partners, World Food Program, initiated a voucher-based relief whereby beneficiaries receive a voucher for food items worth $700 per month each for 3 months. Thus far, 370 households per the 4 constituencies benefited, which is Ocho, Korijas, Sesfontein, and Opuo Rural. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, challenges are being experienced during the delivery and the distribution of drought relief, which includes the lack of vehicles for transport in the constituency and the bad road conditions that we have. We are all responsible for the distribution of drought relief. DSA for staff members involved in this activity and any other activity of drought relief program for our communities, and I therefore call upon all of us to ensure fair, effective, and timely distribution to the affected communities within our constituency. The Office of the Prime Minister is currently busy with transporting of drought relief to our regional warehouse for distribution to constituencies, while equally an assessment is being conducted currently on commodity-based monitoring information system to capture information on a computerized system. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the benefits of development are countless, from job creation to improved living standards, but our development strategies must be ambitious and targeted so that we are able to attract and retain investment while at the same time expanding our regional investment portfolio. The Kunene region received a total of 200,371,000 for the period under review, of which only 33,937,515 was spent due to 175,227,750 that was very mandate to other projects, of which is the construction of the road Swakop, Hendies Bay, Kamanyap Road. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, it is no secret that the public infrastructure development stimulates prosperity and promotes economic inclusion through the provision of accessibility, inclusion, safety. Infrastructure development shapes social and economic outcomes that promote a socially fair and cohesive society. Construction of infrastructure creates jobs, particularly immediate employment opportunities, improved efficiency within the economy, and boost productivity in all sectors. Allow me to report on the progress of government activities and projects in Kunene region during the period under review. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, local authorities are the third tier of government. It is the task of local authorities to provide basic services at grassroots level. Quality and reliable services are crucial for uplifting the living conditions of the citizenry. The 4 local authorities situated in Kunene region are overwhelmed with many multi-phase challenges, but they remain resolute in fulfilling their mandates of providing basic services to the inhabitants of the region. The councils of Ocho and Opuo have just appointed new female chief executive officers, translating to 3 out of 4 local authorities, namely Kamanyap, Ocho, and Opuo administrations, to be headed by women. And in wishing them and the councils well on this journey, we require of them to make these institutions productive and deliver effective and efficient services, attract investment and new industries in their towns, and promote good governance. During the 7 governors' town hall meetings in February in each and every of our constituencies, our residents were clear with their expectations and demands that we must revive their constituency economies and deliver to them quality services, and that we shall do. We equally thank all the outgoing chief executive officers for the contribution to development of this great region during their tenure at the respective councils. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, Kamanyap Village Council has, under the period review, number 1, procured fleet of 250,000. 2, 1 million was spent on a 200-meter road upgrade, low volume bitumen and interlocking from gravel. Number 3, designs for road upgrade, including a 3-year implementation plan, has been complete. Number 4, 70,000 was spent on the SME business stall expansion program. Number 5, construction of sewage reticulation, which includes the pump station upgrade for 3.9 million, is ongoing. Number 6, water reticulation of extension 2 for 2.1 million is complete. Number 7, water reticulation for ORAP location for 198,000 is complete. Number 8, 25 low-cost houses for 1,250,000 are 95% complete, and the price range of these houses is 35,000 to 60,000. Number 9, establishment of extensions 4 with 191 Erven and extension 5 with 158 Erven under the flexible land tenure is ongoing. Number 10, the 5-year general valuation roll at the cost of 210,000 is complete. Number 11, water infrastructure for 350,000 is complete during the period under review, which includes prepaid water meter installation, borehole pumps, and solar panel installation. Korigas Town Council. Number 1, Korigas sewage and upgrade and rehabilitation was allocated 4 million, and expenditure as we speak is 2.8 million, and it's an ongoing project. 2, delivery and installation of 240 prepaid water meters in Dongerhoek, informal settlement, and pensioners' houses for 1.3 million completed. Number 3, maintenance works of roads in Korigas allocated 1.3 million, expenditure to date 1.1 million, and it's an ongoing project. Number 4, provision of ad hoc cadastral and topographical surveying services in Korigas informal settlement, and the Sheikh Dwellers Association Federation allocated 946,000, and expenditure is 1.1 million. Successfully conducted the survey and the packing of 461 Erven in the township of Ada Ngaungu informal settlement. Number 5, electrification of Ada Ngaungu informal settlement in Korigas allocated 974,410, expenditure 974,410, resulting in 92 plots being electrified. Ocho Municipality. Number 1, subdivision of ERF 621, which will create 31 ERF Erven is ongoing. Number 2, subdivision of ERV 34, which will create 67 Erven, is ongoing. Number 3, community-driven projects of new extensions are underway in Ocho informal settlement, namely Urip Township. 931 Erven will be created. Police area 420 Erven will be created. Extension 9, 2,400 Erven will be created. Number 4, upgrading of a Hangano location, which consists of 991 Erven, and Kapenbow, which consists of 750 Erven, is ongoing. Number 5, 300 Erven are allocated to the Sheikh Dwellers Association. Number 6, upgrading of water infrastructure is ongoing. Thus far, 3 boreholes have been drilled, and council is awaiting for funding from the Ministry of Urban to complete the water and sewer reticulation project in the informal settlement that has become a serious life threat to the people in this area because of open trenches. During the period under review, the Ocho Legacy Center was inaugurated by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Namibia on the 15th of April 2023. The center is situated in the Ocho informal settlement area and is a product of collaboration of individuals, businesses, and different stakeholders, which is testimony that when communities work together, and together development can be achieved. The center houses a primary health care clinic, a police station, a municipal office, a public library, and a community hall, which enables the inhabitants residing in the informal settlement to access government services. Opuo Town Council. Number 1, construction of water and sewer for the development workshop Namibia, 100 Erven for 3.7 million complete. Number 2, bulk infrastructure development, revamping of the oxidation pond and bulk water supply for Otuzemba Extension 3 for 9 million is ongoing. Number 3, gravel road maintenance in front of Opuo Central Park for 904,000 is complete. Number 4, construction of a yard for Opuo Central Park is ongoing. Number 5, relocation of Opuo Sports Facility is ongoing. To stimulate economic activity in the region, Opuo Town Council this year hosted its 10th edition of the annual trade fair. We wish to congratulate them. Omake, I think you need to congratulate them. And implore other local authorities to start organizing trade fairs, as this ensures strategic and target growth, while at the same time giving inhabitants of the area an opportunity to partake in economic activities. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, while we applaud the local authorities for their work thus far, local authorities face a legion of challenges that hinder them from delivering services and fulfilling their duties. Local authorities are dependent on rates and taxes to render services. Hence, I implore all residents and institutions to settle their municipal accounts on time to ensure smooth functioning of these entities, and equally implore councils to install prepaid water meters and give incentives to owing residents to settle their bills. We need to be creative and to move away from cutting provisions of services if a person owes the council. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, education is critical for sustainable development and social transformation. It protects children from the effects of unemployment and poverty. Access to quality education paves the way for improved skill acquisition. To this end, the Directorate of Education, Arts and Culture undertook the following projects during the period under review. Number 1, upgrading of basic education facilities. An allocation of 931,000 was made. Thus far, 469,000 has been spent, translating to only 50% implementation. Available 461,000 and projects are advertised. Number 2, Renovation of schools, allocation is 791,000. Expenditure thus far is 117,000, translating to 15% implementation. Available 673,000. Projects are advertised. Number 3, renovation of Mureti Secondary School. Allocated 2.5 million. Spent 2.5 million. First phase complete. Number 4, construction of Otudemba Primary School. Allocated 25 million. Expenditure 25 million. 100% complete. Number 5, construction of the new Omuhonga School. Allocated 75 million. Spent 75 million. 100% complete. Number 6, Bramfelds Agriculture School. Allocated 11 million. Expenditure 11 million. 100% completed. Number 7, pre-primary classrooms. Allocated 1.7 million. Expenditure 1.5 million. Translating to 87% implementation, and available 225,000. Number 8, expansions of hostels at Elias Kamgap, Jacob Basson, Kamanyap Combined, Orumana, Ocherunda, and Ombombo schools. Allocated 9 million. Spent 9 million. 100% implemented. Number 9, COVID-19 infrastructure funds. Allocated 9 million. Expenditure 5.5 million. Translating to 61% implementation, and available 3.5 million. Projects advertised. Number 10, the following projects valued at 5.1 million are planned for the current financial year and are at a stage of award at the procurement level. Renovation of Jacob Basson Boys Hostel. Renovation at Kamanyap Combines Boys Hostel blocks. Renovation of all abolition facilities at Kameru Primary School. Construction and electrification of Model 2 classroom block with a storeroom at Okongo Primary School. Construction and electrification of one abolition block at Okangwati Combined School, and construction and electrification of one abolition block at TF Kaib Primary School. Major renovations at 4 Bend Down Girls Hostel at Etibo Primary School, and the construction and electrification of the abolition block at the Derit Education Center. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the demands for providing quality education are high, and government is unable to adequately meet all the needs that is required for life-changing education. That is why private sector assistance is highly valued, because their assistance breaches the gaps that ensures access to education for many more children. The region extends its gratitude to the following entities for the valuable contribution to education. Project Kaoko Land for construction of various hostels, classrooms, and also donation of beds and mattresses. And Pupkewitz Foundation for the total upgrading of Okapembambu Primary School. Barneman Mining Resource and Namibia Rare Earth for donation of school uniform. Namibia Rare Earth for donation of school uniform. Never Walk Alone for 1,800 school shoes donation. Dante Community Trust for mattress donation. Nam Power for fencing of schools. Namcor for donating of chairs. GIZ for solar system installations. And Kazuma Investment and Trillion Investment in Kadeo for the mattresses and continuous support of uplifting of our schools in the region. It is our responsibility to provide the Namibian child with an environment conducive for them to reach their full potential. And in this regard, Operation Sidat Dikwan and a project established in 2018, a project geared towards revamping broken chairs, desks, and beds collected from urban schools and redistributed to rural schools, is underway in the town of Korigas, and the project will be commissioned soon. Education has a direct impact on employability. Thus, upskilling is an essential tool in qualifying the labor force. In response to this, the construction of the Kunene Vocational Training Center commenced in September 2020. Phase 1A, the provision of bulk services, was completed at the cost of 21,410,000. Phase 1B, which comprises of the construction of essential services facilities at the cost of 63,100,000, is ongoing. This phase includes administration blocks. It includes 4 workshops, a gatehouse, and a canopy, and other works include electrical installation, solar water heating installation, water tank installation, HVAC and refrigeration installation, genset installation. Some notable project implementations achieved includes site clearance is 100% complete, platforms and excavations are 100% complete, construction of superstructure is 95% complete. Completion of this phase is set for the end of July this year. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the region values health and advocates for overall good health for the inhabitants of the region. Capital projects under the Directorate of Health and Social Services during the period under review. Number 1, minor renovation of clinics and staff house for 240,000 complete. 2, a pupa clinic and staff accommodation, 9.6 million, ongoing project. Number 3, minor renovation of Opuo District Hospital 1, Ward 1, 2, 3, and maternity ward under minor works for 393,000 ongoing. Number 4, renovation of the volunteers' houses at Opuo District Hospital for 178,000 completed. Number 5, supply and delivery, installation and commissioning of ceiling surgery at Opuo, Ocho, and Korihas district hospitals with a total value of 748,000 completed. Number 6, minor renovation at the Korihas Hospital Casualty and Theatre for 371,000 completed. Number 7, renovation of the Opuo Clinic, kitchen, laundry, and wards for 556,000 completed. Number 8, renovation of the doctors' flats and houses, OPD at Opuo Hospital for 160 completed. Number 9, autoclave repair and services in Opuo District Hospitals and the laundry services equipment repaired for 180,000 complete. Number 10, minor renovation at the Korihas Hospital ward, OPD, CDC, and TB department for 432,000 complete. Number 11, major renovation of a dilapidated fence at the Korihas District Hospital is in progress at the cost of 480,000. Number 12, renovation of mortuary facilities and upgrade of a fence at Ocho District Hospital for 159,000 is ongoing. Number 13, electrical repair works needed at Ocho District Hospital maternity ward for 263,000 is complete. Number 14, procurement of general electrical installation in the TB ward, alterations to COVID ward and staff houses at Ocho Old TB Hospital for 260,000 completed. Number 15, procurement, delivery, installation, commissioning of an emergency erection of additional 8 water reservoir tanks in the Opuo District Hospital for 1.8 million ongoing. Number 16, electrical repair works needed at Ocho District Maternity Ward complete. That one I said already. 17, build parking with shade flag poles, doors with backlash at Ocho COVID Hospital for 363,000 complete. Number 18, major renovation of nurses' home blocks at Korihas District Hospital for 179,000 completed. Number 19, minor renovation work needed at the maternity wards of Ocho, Opuo, and Korihas for 1.1 million completed. Number 20, supply, delivery and installation test and commissioning of a 450 kVA standby power generator at Korihas District Hospital for 1 million complete. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, agriculture is our steam engine, the catalyst for rooted and sustainable growth. When all its components align, agriculture will spark an economic revolution that is bound to have long-lasting transformative effects. However, our region still experiences the serious consequences of climate change. While we were in jubilation for the favorable rainy season last year, we were met with discouraging rainfall this season, which has had an inimical impact on the region. Where there is a will, there is a way. And we are people with a durability that is centered at our core. Principles of hope, resilience, and that give us new perspective on reviving our livelihood and agriculture sector. That is why climate smart initiatives by Environmental Investment Fund are a welcomed relief. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, since 2018, the EIF has been implementing a project aimed at reducing the vulnerability of smallholder farmers under the climate change conditions by safeguarding natural capital that generate ecosystem services to sustain agricultural development production systems, title sub 001, improving rangeland and ecosystem management practices of smallholder farmers under the conditions of climate change in Sesfontein, Fransfontein, and Varamkwele areas, Irima Kunene project. And funded by the Green Climate Fund, the specific objectives of the project are, number one, to promote investments in integrated drought early warning system and improve the existing ones. Number two, strengthen and improve the capacity of key stakeholders in drought risk management at regional, national, and local levels. Number three, support communities to undertake innovative adaptation actions that reinforce their resilience to drought. The EIF is implementing other projects in the Kunene region with the aid of various funders. The EIF is implementing 3 projects under the Empower to Adapt EDA project. Ehirovi Puka Conservancy project has implemented a project at the cost of 4.5 million that ran from May 2019 to September 2021. And is focused on the production of fodder through the use of hydroponic technology to strengthen the resilience of vulnerable small-scale farmers in Ehiro Vipuka Conservancy. The aim of the project is to contribute towards reducing climate-induced vulnerability of agroeconomic systems in the Ehiro Vipuka Conservancy by increasing adaptive capacity of key local institution actors, piloting climate-resilient technologies and sustainable land management practice. Key activities include providing alternative grazing systems through fodder production, reviewing and updating of grazing and rangeland management plans, introducing a climate-resilient livestock breeding scheme, and undertaking research and forking of a partnership with the University of Namibia for knowledge management practice. The project produces 280 kilograms of fodder per day, with 9 community members trained on hydroponic fodder production. Fodder production commenced in January 2020. Some of the notable achievements of this project include 350 beneficiaries directly benefited from the project, with over 6,000 indirect beneficiaries. Number two, 2 hydroponic system structures were constructed at the project site. Number 3, rangeland management plan was developed for the conservancy. Number 4, 76,000 livestock are benefiting from the improved rangeland management practices and their hydroponic fodder production system. Number 5, 1 borehole was rehabilitated, retrofitted with 3 solar panels with an output of 280 watts, and a 10,000 liter water tank was installed. Number 6, the project site is equipped with elephant protection wall and a predator-proof fence. Number 7, a memorandum of understanding was signed with the University of Namibia on knowledge management and training. Number 8, 94 goats were procured and 171 goats are currently on site. In the 2-year period between May 2019 and May 2021, the EIF completed and handed over ecosystem-based adaptation project valued at 5.1 million in the Dorangavas and Huadikwas. Title, Enhancing Community Adaptation Through Climate Change Integration and Promotion of Climate Resilience. Livelihoods in these 3 conservancies in Kunene region, the project has allowed the conservancies have an opportunity to integrate wildlife, tourism, livestock production, and to mainstream climate change into production systems at conservancy levels. Under this project, 12 boreholes have been rehabilitated and retrofitted with solar panels. Each water point is equipped with elephant protection wall, 10,000 liters water tank and stand, elephant water reservoir and community water taps. Each of the constituencies received 100 chickens distributed equally to the beneficiaries within the 3 conservancies. 54 drip irrigations installed at selected households. 6 incubators procured for the establishment of small poultry hatcheries in the 3 conservancies. 12 water point committees formed and trained on basic water point management. 1,700 households benefiting from the rehabilitated solar-powered water points. A monthly saving of 40,000 on diesel and maintenance costs is being realized in these 3 conservancies. 48 community members from each conservancy received training on poultry production, and each beneficiary received 6 of them. Technological advance embedded within the rehabilitated borehole systems through self-regulatory water flow valves for wildlife drinking. 60 community members employed during the rehabilitation of the 12 water points. 63 households supported with vegetable and cash crops seed packs. To improve food security and alleviate poverty through provision of jobs and income by establishing a smart agricultural enterprise within the conservancy, EIF completed and handed over 2.4 million project in the Huap Conservancy, and the project impacts are 930 direct beneficiaries, 1 borehole rehabilitated and retrofit with 9 solar panels and a 10,000 liter water tank, 1 hydroponic system structure constructed with drip irrigation installed, 1 chicken farm established, office and cold storage facilities established, elephant-proof electrical fence erected around the project site and conservancy office. 12 community members trained on hydroponic and chicken farming. 12 community members temporarily employed during the construction of the hydroponic system and development of the chicken farm. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, as mentioned above, inhabitants of the Kunene region are highly dependent on rain-fed agriculture, particularly livestock farming. To protect livelihoods, enhance animal health, and to promote animal identification, the Directorate of Veterinary Services in the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform during the period under review initiated the following project. Livestock and Support Program allocated 15,200,000, expenditure 100,000. Farmers are trained, staff members are trained, ear tags are procured, a vehicle has been procured, and the project is ongoing. To revive the formal local livestock economy, the DVS is in the process of upgrading the Opuo slaughterhouse to an abattoir. However, progress is hampered by the electrical and water debts incurred by the slaughterhouse. DVS recommends synergic action between Opuo Town Council, NORED, and Kunene Regional Council to either have the debts removed or paid off by the tenant. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, to promote an integrated landscape management approach in key agriculture and forest landscapes, reducing poverty through sustainable nature-based livelihoods, protect biodiversity and restoring forests as a carbon sink, and promote land degradation. Neutrality, the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, is implementing the Namibia Integrated Landscape Approach for enhancing livelihoods and environmental governance to eradicate poverty. The project, which was officially launched on the 10th of July 2020 in Ondangwa, is expected to put in place 5 multi-stakeholder coordination structures in focal landscapes to implement natural resources management solutions with 20,818 direct beneficiaries across 5 landscapes. This is a grant-based project where grants are allocated to various community projects to promote environmental protection while promoting livelihood enhancement. Initiatives under this project include a Pupa Constituency Youth Forum, an ongoing project valued at 675,000, seeking to achieve the following impacts. 1. Awareness of rangeland management provided. Number 2, water infrastructure to be installed. Number 3, short-term employment. Number 4, half a hectare of land under crop production. Number 6, solar panels to be installed on the project. Another ongoing project valued at 668,000 titled Ngatu Rikute Pamwe Women Group, and seeking to achieve the following impacts. Number 1, direct beneficiaries, 68 beneficiaries, 62 female, 6 male, 10,000 liters of water tanks installed, short-term and long-term employment to be created, establishment of the chicken farming infrastructure. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, water is the oasis of hope. It gives life to everything it touches. The soul, the plants, the animals, and even people are dependent on water for survival. I'll take water for now. In the financial year under review, the following water infrastructure and management projects were undertaken. 1. Drilling of 14 boreholes, whereby 11 have been successfully installed. 3 were dry. The boreholes were drilled as follows. 4 boreholes were drilled in Opuo Rural Constituency. 1 borehole drilled in Opuo Urban Constituency. 3 boreholes drilled in Epupa Constituency. 5 boreholes drilled in Korigas Constituency. 1 borehole drilled in Kamanyap Constituency. Number 2, a further 15 boreholes were rehabilitated. 3 in Korigas, 7 in Sesfontein, 3 in Opuo Urban, 2 in Epupa. Number 3, a total of 55 boreholes were cleaned throughout the region. Number 4, 9 boreholes were installed. 1 in Opuo Rural, 3 in Epupa, 4 in the Kamanyap constituency. Number 5, the construction of about 8-kilometer water pipeline from Ohamaremba to Okangwati for water reticulation phase 3 in the Okangwati settlement is ongoing to a value of 24 million, expected to finish on the 24th November 2023. Compliments goes to the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Environmental Investment Fund, Ministry of Environment and Tourism, a project on human-wildlife conflict funded by GIZ for supporting the development of water infrastructures. The government will pursue to support the development of water supply infrastructure in the region, including the construction of 2 mini desalination plants at Condor in Sesfontein and Pietersfontein in Corregas. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, to promote economic sufficiency and encourage food security through family farming, the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform initiated the following projects during the period under review. Number 1, beef value chain development in the northern regions, allocated 1 million, expenditure 950,000, 96% implementation. A further allocation of 3.6 million is made for the current financial year. Number 2, comprehensive conservation agriculture program for Namibia, an allocation of 214,000, expenditure 200,000, 96% implementation. A further 214,000 is allocated for this financial year. Number 3, National Horticulture Support Program, allocated 214,000, expenditure 214,000, 100% implemented. Number 4, Poultry Value Chain Scheme, allocated 214,000, expenditure 150,000, and a further allocation of 392,000 is made for the current financial year. Cereal Value Development Scheme, allocation of 150,000, expenditure of 214,000, and a further allocation for 650,000 has been made for this current financial year. Rural water supply coverage, rural secondary pipeline construction, an allocation of 5.6 million was made and 5.6 million was spent, 100% completed. A further allocation in this financial year is made of 4.3 million, and the project is transferred to rural water supply as the government's contribution towards the Ruakana South Water Supply Scheme. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, land apart from labor is the other crucial component of production. It is economic multi-utilization properties are vital for agriculture, utilities of poverty eradication and job creation and food security. During the period under review, the ministry acquired one farm, Farm Kunene, number 303, with a total size of 6,270 hectares. During the period under review, 10 farms were offered to the state for assessment purposes. 3 beneficiaries from Kunene region were resettled at Farm Okonjeu and Farm Kunene in Kunene and Ochonjupa respectively. On communal areas, 110 customary land rights and 8 leasehold land rights were ratified and approved by the Kunene Communal Land Board. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, during the period under review, 1 staff member under the project for communal land development was recruited with a responsibility of communal land registration, while 6 under National Youth Service was recruited for caretaking services and guarding of the acquired resettlement farms. The Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform received 30 million through the Namibian German Cooperation and the European Commission to implement the land reform program focusing on communal areas. The ministry and the Desert Research Foundation of Namibia as the consultant developed the local level participatory plan for agriculture and commercialization in areas to be designated for agriculture purposes in communal areas of Kunene region. Thus far, the organizing committee for the LLPP was established. Various meetings were held. Several regional consultation meetings with stakeholders was rolled out. Mapping of infrastructure and communal land rights is in the 16 preliminary identified focal areas were conducted and are towards the finalization of identifying infrastructures and the development of the investment plan in those focal areas. The ministry also collected 78,000 from the communal lease rentals and 63,000 from the resettlement lease rentals during the period under review. Other activities of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform during the period under review are: number one, renovation and upgrading of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform buildings, 320,000 complete. Improvement of animal health and marketing services in the northern central areas for 8 million complete. Development of national fundamental data sets allocated 140,000, 88% complete. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, we are hospital people. Our door is always open to welcome those that are interested about the Kunene story. Ours is not only a story of cultural diversity, but also of landscapes that are cynical meld into each other. From end to end, the region offers tourists a glimpse of the Namib Desert, the savanna, the African savanna landscapes, and the breathtaking mountainous views, while being accompanied by the famous Big Five and many different wildlife. Kunene is an all-in-one tourist destination. To maintain this illustrious story, we need to conserve our nature and protect our wildlife. The Integrated Rural Development and Nature Conservation, IRDNC, is one of the non-governmental organizations in Namibia that connects conservation to the social and economic development of the people coexisting with wildlife and other valuable resources. IRDNC has come to see how building local capacity and growing a strong civil society also advances conservation outcomes. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, when wildlife numbers rise, conflict over resources with humans also escalate. To mitigate human-wildlife conflict and to curb the escalation of human-wildlife conflict, two key initiatives run by IRDNC are the Kunene Lion Management and the Elephant Walk Management Plan. Kunene Lion Management Plan entails: 1, predator-proof corrals. The predator-proof corrals are designed to protect livestock at night, and this will not only prevent lions from killing livestock, but it will also prevent the escalation of human-lion conflict problems in the area. Number 2, early warning systems. The early warning system offers additional livestock protection to local farmers and also serves as an important hub for data collection so that communities and conservationists and researchers can continue to better understand the lions in the area. To date, IRDNC, Kunene's Human Wildlife Support Unit, constructed 71 lion-proof crawls in the targeted lion hotspot areas across the landscape. So far, the team erected 12 local towers in Kunene conservancies to monitor lion movement patterns. Elephant Walk Management Plan. Kunene Elephant Walk. The aim of this initiative is to help conserve the unique population of desert-adapted elephants through the raising of awareness about the ecological and economic importance of the desert-adapted elephants on a local, national, and international level, while raising funds for conflict prevention projects. So far, 450 kilometers have been covered in 3 years by the Kunene elephant game guards and volunteers. Number 2, 42 volunteers, including elephant game guards, participated in the Kunene elephant walk in 2022. I hope councillors will join this year. Number 3, 15 community crop gardens protected against elephants. Number 4, 15 motorbikes are said to be donated to the elephant game guards in July this year. 10 elephant game guards were equipped with field equipment. 7 Kunene conservancies benefited from the Kunene Elephant Walk project. One initiative by the Namibia Chamber of Environment through the IRDNC was Cash for Walk initiative. This project created 186 temporary jobs for conservancies members at a payment of $100 per person per day. A total length of 268 kilometers was cleared, resulting in 4x4 access to all 27 of the identified tourism sites, and at the same time linking them to newly constructed 4x4 tourism routes. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, to stimulate economic growth and to improve social connections, the following road infrastructure projects were initiated during the period under review. Construction of Swakopmund, Hendis Bay, Uis Korigas Kamanyap Road, allocation 60 million, and a further allocation for the current financial year of 131 million is made, and it's an ongoing project. We are equally excited of the road upgrade project of 181-kilometer road from Opuo via Okangwati via Epupa to Baines project. There has been many community consultations, and this road is earmarked to not only uplift the community economically and change the Kunene region and Epupa constituency in particular, socially as well. We thank the community and the community leaders for giving positive support and owning this development. With the assistance of the Road Fund Administration, the following road projects were achieved: blading and regraveling of roads in Okangwati settlement at a tune of 614,000. Construction of a 721-meter low-volume seal road in Sesfontein settlement area is in progress for 1 million Namibian dollars. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, electricity is the fuel of the fourth industrial revolution. It is the spark that sustains economic growth and transformation. Construction and maintenance of energy infrastructure is vital for the consistent and constant access to electricity. NORAD undertook the following infrastructure development projects: fencing of a 11 kV mini substation, 65,000. Debushing of a MV networks, 30,000. The following projects were done by SENORAD. Number 1, Adangangu project, which entails 66 houses being electrified, complete. Number 2, Adangangu phase 2, which includes 20 houses to be electrified, ongoing. Number 3, Kamanyap New Land project entailed construction of low voltage network and house connection of 30 houses, project complete. Number 4, France Fontaine project entails connection of 20 houses, projects complete. Number 5, Etoshapur project entails connection of 25 houses, it is ongoing. Ocho Samstan project entails 50 houses to be connected, project is ongoing. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, under the Ministry of Mines, Energy and Nampower, the following are the projects: the off-grid electrification and solar revolving fund. An allocation was made of 50,000, it was spent and complete. Number 2, rural electrification saw the electrification of Ochitoko village, an allocation of 2 million, complete. And a regional geological mapping was allocated 200,000, and this project has been complete. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, we are in the age of Internet of Things. The role of Internet and information technology was amplified the past few years. And while we were gradually with the transitions in the fourth industrial revolution, we were propelled into fast-paced digital highway that consists of both benefits and disadvantages. E-commerce, particularly government's online tendering process, e-learning, teleworking, conference meetings, and easily accessible bank services are some of the benefits of the digital age. In the period under review, the Ministry of Information Communication Technology undertook the following project: expansion of broadcasting network and systems upgrade, allocation 1.1 million complete. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, to improve quality of life through retention, growth, and expansion in spaces outside of cities and urban centers, the Kunene Regional Council embarked on the following projects. The following achievements were made in the field of urban land and housing delivery in the settlement areas in Kunene region. Number 1, construction of 7 toilets, sewage service connection, gravity sewage networks, and the rehabilitation of sewer pump station at Fransfontein to the value of 1.1 million for phase 2. Phase 2B of the same project will see the construction of 74 toilets, and the project is ongoing. Number 2, construction of the Okangwati Settlement Area Office, phase 1B in Okangwati, budgeted for an amount of 3 million, is in progress. Number 3, the installation of the booster pump and construction of water pipeline in Sesfontein is in progress for the year under review. An amount of 709,000 is budgeted for. Number 4, construction of 37 low-cost houses under the Build Together project, where 16 low-cost houses were built in Fransfontein, 21 low-cost houses in Okangwati, and an amount of 4.9 million has been allocated for the construction of a total of 74 low-cost houses in the 3 settlement areas of Kunene region. The construction of the low-cost houses is being facilitated by the Sheikh Dwellers Federation of Namibia and the Namibia Housing Action Group with the Regional Council. Number 5, fencing of an oxidation pond at Anikap to the tune of 1.1 million. Social economic development. Number 6, supported the implementation of 9 self-help projects through the region funded food and cash for work program to the tune of 260,000. The project implementation saw the creation of about 180 temporary jobs to local community members. Number 7, supported the implementation of 1 income generating enterprise in Opuo Rural at the tune of 30,000. This initiative created 6 jobs. Promotion of sanitation and hygiene. Number 8, constructed a total of 102 ventilated improved pit latrines in Epupa constituency and initiated construction of 35 ventilated improved pit latrines in the 7 constituencies to combat the effect of open defecations. The project is part of government's effort to improve access to sanitation, hygiene, which is funded on an annual basis. The construction of pit latrines will be done by the local use of their respective constituency. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, young people of today are the heroes of tomorrow. That is why we need to ensure they have access to uplifting opportunities to be productive members of society. Being cognizant of these multidimensional challenges the youth face, Various trainings and interactive engagements were conducted in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady through the One Economy Foundation. More than 200 young people and frontline service providers received training on gender-based violence, preventative and victim care, mental health, and entrepreneurship. We extend our profound gratitude to the First Lady of the Republic of Namibia and the One Economy team in conducting the trainings and expanding the knowledge base of the people of Kunene region. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, smart partnerships like these are essential in achieving objectives of the Kunene Youth Development Strategy. By working towards the ambitions expressed by the youth in the Kunene Youth Development Strategy, it ties in with a mantra, nothing for the youth without the youth. It is for this reason that we shall be reviewing the Kunene Youth Development Strategy that we launched in 2018, later this year in Korigas, to assess progress and to align new industries that have emerged. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, in 2022, we hosted the first edition of the Kunene Governors Cup in Ocho, with 500 participants in sports codes of men and women, soccer, netball, volleyball, rugby, and boxing. And we thank all the sponsors and stakeholders who contributed to this successful event. This year's Governors Cup promises to be more exciting and bigger, to be hosted from the 31st August to the 3rd September 2023 in Ocho. We will select a soccer and netball team from the teams participating from constituencies to participate at the annual PST Bet Governors Cup to be hosted in Omaheke later this year to compete against the other regions. These platforms are created to expose our youth and afford them the opportunity to showcase their talents. Hence, for this year's edition, we have decided for participants in the age groups of 18 to 35, with players playing in the Namibian Premier League, the first division, and the second divisions not allowed to partake. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, gender-based violence not only has a negative social consequence but have economic consequences that are too huge to ignore. Violence against women, girls and women goes against the goal of creation of an inclusive and cohesive society. Mental health issues, substance abuse, and other factors at the center of JBV need urgent and immediate action to eradicate this scourge from our midst forever. To this end, the Directorate of Gender Equality undertook the following projects. Number one, strategies addressing violence against children and gender-based violence implemented. The output was partially achieved. 23 survivors of JPV and VAC were provided with physio-social and shelter services during the reporting time. Number two, 4 meetings were held with prosecutors and investigation officers, and 6 vulnerable witnesses were prepared for court. Shelters operationalized activity was achieved as planned, and more survivors were placed in shelter for protection, and all the meetings and inspections were conducted during the period under review. Number 3, awareness campaigns on VAC conducted. The output was achieved as planned, and in total, 2,383 children were reached during school talks, and 857 community members were reached out during community meetings and various topics that were discussed. Number 4, child justice implemented. The output was achieved as planned. In total, 56 children in conflict with the law were screened, and 88% of the children came into conflict with the law were diverted from normal court proceedings, while 20 cell visits were conducted at police holding cells. Number 5, alternative care strategies implemented. The activity was partially achieved as only one child was adopted during the reporting time. 17 children were placed into alternative care with court orders, and 12 kinship care agreements were facilitated by the social workers. Statutory services for children implemented activity was achieved as planned, and in total, 39 children were provided with statutory services. Social workers to provide services as soon as the need arises. Physio-social support services for children implemented. The output was partially achieved as planned, as only 57.9% of the activity was achieved, which includes 438 children provided with counseling and therapeutic services. 16 children reached through group work, 19 children working and living on the streets were integrated back into communities and schools, while 55 children living with disabilities were assessed and referred for disability grant. Number 7, international and national days celebrated and commemorated. Activity was achieved as planned, and 1,483 children were reached during the African Child Day and the Namibian Child Day, while 156 children were reached during the Safer Internet Day and Street Child Day. 2 platforms were used during the commemoration of this event. Number 8, collaboration meetings with stakeholders conducted. The output was underachieved as there was no regional forum was conducted. However, 7 constituency child care and protection forums were conducted. Stakeholders trained on child care and protection activity was partially achieved. Various stakeholders, which includes religious leaders, traditional leaders, teachers, CCPF members were trained on CCPA. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, for social transformation through economic and empowerment, particularly through training and provision of business equipment, the Ministry of Gender ran the following projects. Number 1, Candlelight Music Studio received equipment worth 34,000. Number 2, JJ Kapana received equipment worth 4,000. Number 3, Kuvukulen Barbershop received equipment worth 10,000. Number 4, Dihotani Bakery received equipment worth 9,000. Number 5, Martha Mini Bakery received equipment worth 14,000. Number 6, Thros Trading Enterprise received equipment worth 41,000. Number 7, Pietres Manual Trading received equipment worth 16,000. And Mehono Tiling received equipment worth 31,000. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, to minimize the impact of poverty on vulnerable households, government distributes safety grants to approximately 28,908 children in Kunene region. 8,516 pensioners. 1,813 persons living with disabilities in Kunene region, to a tune of 158,108,992 per year, only on Kunene. Omake. During the period under review, statistics show that crime has increased by 2% in the region, with 951 incidences reported in previous financial year compared to 973 during the period under review. Also, stock theft decreased by 11.2%. Housebreaking increased by 9%. Gender-based violence decreased by 35%. And drug-related crimes decreased by 9.5%. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, in conclusion, today is the tomorrow we planned for yesterday. Planning is an important component of progress. It guides us into the direction of change while proactively working towards our ambitions. Kunene is the region of endless possibilities. In the past few years, the SORA has been both a platform of accountability as well as a blueprint of articulating the aspirations of the people of Kunene region. In the previous SORAs, we spoke of skills retention as a means to improve service delivery and to expedite project completion without compromising on quality. We also highlighted the importance of synergies between the OMAs to enhance our approach towards eliminating bottlenecks that bar the implementation of projects. Through community engagement, specifically town hall meetings and an open door policy, we are able to create an atmosphere of people-centered development. This targeted approach enables us to work towards achieving our goal of revival towards an inclusive development and shared prosperity. As the ultimate investment frontier, the Kunene region hosts a surplus of investment potentialities across all sectors. We implore and we encourage inhabitants, stakeholders, and business people to take up these opportunities, as we are now more than ever focused on the economic development of Kunene region. Hence, we are extremely excited of the future right at our doorstep of the green and blue economy potential, emphasizing the eagerness of investors to invest in Kunene region. To this end, I implore all councils, business people, communities, and youth to participate in these opportunities and value chains being created by these new economic drivers, not as employees only, but having a stake in equity. Let us work and strategize together as to how we shall participate in these opportunities for the greater benefit of all, especially the locals. We must be resolute in our quest for economic emancipation, persistently, consistently creating pockets of hope for our people, step by step, shoulder to shoulder, collectively to move Kunene. God bless Kunene region. God bless the Republic of Namibia, and I thank you.
And that was the State of the Region address there by Honorable Governor Maria Shea of the Kunene region. I liked what he said towards the end, that today is the tomorrow we planned for yesterday. Apart from all the adversities that the region is facing, he's saying that Kunene region hosts a surplus of investment potentialities across all sectors. Those are the words of the governor. What did you think of his speech, Mr. Kavari?
It was a great speech. And one thing that stood out for me is his time and again emphasis on collaboration, on teamwork, as per the phrase that he coined for himself for his operation that he closed with of the moving Kunene as a team. Step by step, shoulder to shoulder, we move Kunene collectively. And this collaboration is reflected in many of the activities that he reported, where the offices, the government offices, involved other stakeholders to deliver required services to the communities or to the residents of the region.
While you read that, I remember before the speech was read, we were talking, and you mentioned the drought was one of those ones. And we saw in the governor's speech that these collaborations, if you like, with other stakeholders, including the Environmental Investment Fund, featured heavily in his speech to try and mitigate and bring sort of like that paradigm shift that you spoke about, that people need to be thinking differently and farm differently.
Exactly. It was reflected where and assistance is also given in terms of trainings or on the rangeland management, smart farming operations, as well as another collaboration of the food vouchers with the World Food Program. Those are some of the collaborations in terms of the drought mitigation, as well as even some boreholes that were drilled by Nilalek, another collaboration with the Environmental Investment Fund. So collaboration is much featured, even in terms of the drought mitigation.
Yes, definitely. The drought mitigation factors have been really sown into the minds of many Namibians out there. I remember not long ago traveling around the Kunene region at a place called Ombawe, or where you would find people now using drip irrigation technologies to be able to plant, and you will get good onions and some good products that they've gotten there. Also, a substantial amount of money was spent to build Omuhonga Combined School. Now, we spoke about education and the importance of education. One cannot overestimate that or overemphasize the importance of education. Omuhonga Combined School, an amount of about 75 million was spent on it. Is this a good or a bad move in your view?
That was a great move. If one knew the history of Omuhonga Combined School and where it stands today, it is a school of a state-of-art school among many schools in Namibia. Of its type, it's the only one in Kunene region, and among the country, it will be among a very few schools. And it is deep in the heartland of formerly marginalized communities, the Himbas, and everything is provided. Computer labs, state-of-the-art hostels, classrooms fitted with all the needed technology of today. That was a worthwhile investment. And this is an investment by the African Development Bank. That was another collaboration. Not that a clear sign that not only the government can attend to our problems, but the government can rope in other relevant stakeholders to solve the problems.
Yes, the governor also mentioned that government alone won't be able to solve these type of things, hence this type of intervention. Moving on, road infrastructure has also featured heavily. We do know that the region is quite vast, but what basically stood out is from the Kunene Regional Council's budget, around 170 million or so was earmarked for the road strip between Handys Bay and Kamanyap. That is in itself still moving that step by step, one at a time going forward.
Exactly. That is a great achievement for the region. That was a rough road. Imagine if you could have driven it yourself. That was a rough road that is started today, and it further plans the tarring of Epupa Baines Road, which will be an addition. So then we will have two very long roads within the region that are tarred, because that is that one, and then we have the one Ocho to Opuo. Then we will have the third one, the one from Opuo to Epupa Baines, to Baines through Epupa. So such are great achievements and still plans that are at hand to improve on the road infrastructure, as well as other plans that are there to improve the other gravel roads and upgrading some to other levels, which they are not at the moment.
Maybe development is coming at a snail pace, but according to Mr. Kavari and the speech of the governor, it is coming. Let's talk about unemployment. You also had a concern about it. Do you feel it was adequately addressed?
It was addressed to the extent that he addressed it. It is quite a complex issue just to address it adequately. Yeah. But the interventions that was there also, such as the training and interactive engagements, earmarked for mitigating multidimensional youth challenges. Yeah. These are the paradigm shift that we were talking about. Not necessarily providing the youth with employment, because if you are provided with employment, you might lose it tomorrow and go back to being unemployed. But when a paradigm shift is brought about, when entrepreneurial skills are imparted on an individual, that is something that you will take along to your grave. But such, even though not physical employment was provided, but such interventions are a beacon of hope. As well as the governor also came up with a good initiative in 2015 when he launched the youth development strategy. And it will be, as per his reporting, it will be reviewed late this year. And he emphasized on nothing for the youth without the youth. He went by such a phrase, meaning that the youth itself will be involved in the review of this strategy, in which they will air what they really want from the government or any other intervention, because the government is not the only agency that will be able to solve problems in the country, but it will create room. It will create room for other stakeholders to come in and address the problems of the region and the country.
There are always bottlenecks when development has to take place, and I also know that he mentioned those bottlenecks. For example, there are plans out of food to be able to turn the slaughterhouse here in Opuo into a full-fledged abattoir, but then there are problems with debts that are already outstanding, that are standing there with electricity, with the power utilities and so on. But if that were to happen, an abattoir to be able to open up in a place like Opuo, for example, I'm sure that a lot of youth from Opuo and even the surrounding towns, your Korihas and so on, will be able to get those job employment.
Exactly. Because Kunene is a farming region, and this part of Kunene is farming as well. Even the constituencies beyond the red line, which is Sesfontein, Opuo Rural, Opuo Urban, and Epupa, the main economic activity is livestock
Livestock farming.
Livestock farming. And in this part of the country also, we don't have appropriate livestock markets. So once the slaughterhouse is turned into an abattoir, a fully fledged abattoir, people will even the multi-dimensional poverty that we have talked about will be addressed, in the sense that one person travels with a goat or ox or whatever just to sell it on a giveaway price in Opuo, returning without nothing home. But once we have proper livestock prices, it will address the poverty. Even some youths will start farming commercially or on commercial grounds, because there is a proper market for the livestock they have.
Yes, and also the governor touched a lot on the performances of the different local authorities that will be Kamanyap, Korigas, and even Opuo itself. And in doing so, he really urged the public, and including all the other stakeholders, including the ministries and so on, to be able to pay their rates and taxes, because that is how all these local authorities or municipalities are able to operate. And in doing so, one of the things that was really spent on a lot is the prepaid water meters. The governor touched on that a lot of efforts are going into that, so that people are able to just pay or use the water that they have paid for, rather than just use the water and then go and pay later, whereas you do not know how much water you have spent. Is it a wise or a rather odd decision for you?
It is a wise decision. The local authorities that have introduced this must be applauded for this, and the others must be urged to follow suit. A classical example of Opuo, it was made that where it is installed so far, it is that you pay for the water that you are going to use, and equally you are paying off the debt you have with a local authority. So as you go with $100, for example, $50, I don't know the exact amount, but $50 might go for buying the water that you're going to use, as well as the $50 will go for paying off the debt.
The debt that you already owe.
Meaning that they facilitated even that the people will be able to pay off their debt comfortably and conveniently, instead of cutting the people's water.
And do you think, from what you heard in the governor's speech, how do you think or how do you feel the different local authorities performed?
In my sense, in my view, deriving from what the governor reported, they performed well. They tried what they could do. As we know that the scarcity that are in communities are equally in the local authorities. And in the end, when he talked about the local authorities, he urged the ratepayers to pay their dues on time and as they owe, so that the local authorities will be able to deliver services. But however, like the legacy center in Oucho, that is a product of another collaboration. And when you look at what it houses, apparently a police station, a library, a clinic, and a community hall, that is an achievement, a great achievement for that matter.
Yeah.
And another thing is as we are moving women ahead, the governor reported on the 2 additional CEOs, female CEOs that were appointed, making them 3 out of. Only 1 will be male CEO in Kunene. In the other 3 local authorities will have female CEOs, which is another achievement as well.
Tipping the scales, Mr. Kavari. Thank you so much for having been with us here this morning.
I thank you as well.
Good. So those were the analysis of Mr. Kavari, and we had from Governor Maria Shea giving us a comprehensive report as to what the state of the region is, from all the way in Kunene, from Opuo to Kamanyap to Korigas. All these places have been tackled. We spoke about drought. Obviously, Kunene region is one of those places that have been hit hard by drought. I think the message to be able to take home is that farmers and all inhabitants of this region have to plan for tomorrow today. And be able to farm in a very smart way and change ways how you be able to farm. Diversify your farming. These are the messages that we're hearing from the governor. And if that happens, maybe, just maybe, things might get better. But as I said earlier in my welcoming remarks, that it was a very chilly morning this morning. But before I say goodbye, I just wanted to remind our viewers that on the 30th of June, which is 2 days from now, my colleague Ndishishi will be in the Karas region for the State of the Region address there. Please do join in at 9:45 same time. But from me, Leslie, and the team here in the northern part of Namibia, especially in Kunene region, it's bye-bye.